Good morning, everyone, and welcome to my podcast. My name is Lynette. Today we're going to talk about finding joy in everyday life. I'm going to back up. Last episode, we talked about not letting other people's opinions or moods affect you. So I'm going to address how you stay contented and happy with who you are, regardless of the mood of the individual that you're with. So many times we cancel our plans or we do what we think is going to make someone happy and thinking if they're happy, then we'll be happy. But the truth is, you can't make anyone happy. In fact, you've got to be who you are. You've got to be your best self and let them see the value in you and address that with respect and admiration for who you are as an individual, for who you are and being your best self. So how do we do that? Have you ever noticed when you're in a situation, instead of trying to fix somebody else's situation, you stand strong in who you are, in your likes and your dislikes, and you will find those people come around and come to you. It's a huge mistake, and it's another way of living in a prison, letting somebody else's emotions or moods affect who you are. Then it comes down to, why are we in this situation? Do we have to be? Are we needing the security, the financial support to address why you're in that situation and what would make you feel better? Because the big picture is, and the bottom line is, you should only be in a situation because you want to be, not because you need to be. So you need to get yourself in a position where you feel secure within yourself, loving yourself, being your best self, but yet still staying in a situation because you want to be there, not because you have to be there. I noticed on social media, there's a movement trying to make women stay home and cook and clean and do all the domestic stuff, which is fun. Still, you need to get yourself in a position where if you ever tired of that, or if somebody walked away from that you're still okay. So in other words, to make yourself secure, you need to love yourself. You need to be who you are, strong. And then you make the decision if that's where you want to be right now. And I know it makes a difference when you have people depending on you. So you never want to shrug your responsibilities, and you take care of those that depend on you. But any other situation, it's so important in life to be somewhere because you want to be, not because you have to be. When you develop this strong sense of who you are, you will find that the people around you admire that. Because when you're trying to adjust somebody else's mood, I don't believe they respect that. Because you're putting all your feelings based on that person's feelings. If somebody around you is being indifferent for whatever reason, you want to be strong in who you are because you want to be there, not because you have to be there. And this translates also into setting a good example for our children to be strong and be who you are, so you can enjoy life regardless of what walk you choose. But the bottom line is, and I can't stress this enough, that you need to prepare yourself so you can be where you are because you want to be. The best thing we can give our children, besides setting an example, is an education so that they can be able to make that choice in their life as well. So nobody is stuck in a situation where they don't want to be simply for finances or whatever the situation may be. And then you can enjoy where you're at because you're there because you want to be. Besides giving children an education, it is very important to give not only your children, but people around you love, because love breeds success in people. When people feel loved, they feel more secure. They feel like they can take more chances. And it doesn't cost you anything to give that love. So it's really kind of a win-win. It works both ways. In other words, you need to have enough self-love to educate yourself. And I don't necessarily mean you need to go out and get a formal education, but do what you need to do to make yourself secure in where you are right now. That if you need to change or want to change, that you're able to do so. We can give love to others and help them establish who they are and form more security. But regardless if anybody is giving it to you, you need to find a way and establish self-love. And part of doing so is continuing to climb the ladder and be your best self, be the person you were meant to be. So therefore, if it's education or just doing research to grow as a person in who you are, so you know that you can depend on you no matter what happens around you, no matter what people are doing around you, that you feel secure and you feel secure enough to take care of who you are. It is the same as if when you're a child and you look at your parent and you depend on them to take care of you so you don't have to have all these worries yourself. That's the same example of self-love, only it's you depending on you. The best thing that you can give yourself, the best thing that you can give your children besides love is independence. And independence comes in knowing that you can count on yourself. There's a huge difference in making a decision when you feel confident about the outcome, or you feel like you're making the decision based on the right reasons. Let's face it, it feels good to be in control, at the very least, in control of your own life. An example would be if you had a friend and you were going to go to the movies together, and perhaps you wanted to go to the movies at a different time than they did. Now you can be afraid that they'll say, never mind, I don't want to go at all. Or if you had another situation that you could do as a backup, you would be happier and more confident in making the decision, in saying what you really want, because you have a backup. And that's how it is in life, in preparing yourself enough so you can take care of yourself, in developing that independence. What a wonderful, wonderful way to enjoy life. It's knowing that you're exactly where you want to be, not because you have to be. So whatever steps are necessary to take to be in that position is what you need to give yourself. We've talked over and over about living your best life, loving yourself. This is all part of taking the steps to get yourself in that position. So many times people will say they want this, they want that. I have a friend who didn't have a place to live, so I had some real estate experience. So I said, there was a real estate crash at the time, so I said, I will help you, not financially, but I was going to help her and guide her in buying a little home. But she didn't take the steps to do it. She got married. Now, I'm not going to say what the goal was for this marriage, but she did get married. And now she appears to be very, very unhappy. But she has nowhere else to go because she didn't take care of herself, line things up so she could make that decision if she wants to be where she's at. So this is all very important in enjoying life, is being able to make decisions. And I know certainly finances play a big role in it. And if you come from a place where you have financial backing, it's wonderful because you're already kind of in that position. But if you don't have that financial backing, you need to think about what you're going to do to set yourself up. Because what freedom in being able to make the choice, and I can't stress this enough, it doesn't matter if you're home baking cookies all day or if you're the CEO of a big corporation. The point is you're happy where you're at and you're there because you want to be there, not for any other reason. Keep climbing that ladder. Keep being who you are. Keep being your best self. And honestly, I think it's a healthier place to be because more than likely, if you give off the energy of having that choice instead of having to be somewhere, it makes a huge difference in how others treat you. So if there's somebody looking at you and they know you're in a desperate position, believe me, they're going to treat you differently than they would treat you if they know that you're there because you want to be. So what I'm saying is enjoy your life. Enjoy where you are. Enjoy the people you're with. But all I'm trying to get across is prepare yourself by being in a position where no matter what you're doing, no matter who you're doing it with, that you're doing it because you want to, not because you have no other choice. In other words, make your life where you always have choices. And I believe that is a secret to living an absolute joyful life right where you're at. Keep driving forward. Keep securing yourself. Keep climbing that ladder to get yourself in a position where you're totally dependent on you, not necessarily in the outer physical world, but within yourself. And that will give you a type of internal freedom that again circles around you're where you want to be. I think one of the worst things that can happen to us is somebody taking away our freedom of choice. So always have that security within yourself. Always have that self-love, no matter what happens in your outer world. And the other day, I bought this bistro table, and I wanted to sit at it in my front yard and watch people walk by and walk the dogs, whatever. And the friend that I asked to join me couldn't do it, and I was a little disappointed because I thought, I don't want to sit out there by myself. I want someone to talk to. But I went out anyway because I had the desire to. Well, consequently, a new girl moved across the street, and she came over and started talking to me, and I was really happy to meet her. She was a really, really nice person. Now, if I'd been there with somebody else, possibly she would not have felt comfortable coming over. So no matter what you do, making yourself secure, making yourself well-rounded, looking out for you and loving you is not only being in the situation where you want to be that involves somebody else, but feeling confident enough that if there's nobody to do something with, that doesn't stop you. Because when you do things by yourself, it's really interesting. You never know what's going to happen. So this all goes full circle. The security, do whatever you need to do. Yes, education is a big part. But if you feel like you've missed that boat, whatever, you can find ways to make yourself more secure. And a big part of it is loving yourself and doing the research that you need to do to take care of yourself, to be the best person that you can be. So in other words, enjoying your life regardless of what's going on, whether it be another person who's there and they're influencing in a negative way how you're feeling, or if you don't have somebody there influencing how you feel, that you have a desire to do something, you want to go somewhere, that you feel confident enough to do that. So take the steps to get to that place where you can enjoy your life no matter what is or isn't going on around you. With all that being said, enjoy your life, love yourself, and then spread the love to everybody else around you. God bless you. Thank you for listening, and I'll talk to you next week. Bye-bye.